Howdy folks, and welcome back to Hilda. Today we're going to be watching Season 2, Episode 3, titled The Witch. And I was going to do a bit of a bit here where I talk in 1600s style diction, grammar, saying, "'Tis a fortuitous thing that thou hast stumbled upon this video of mine. For we art here to watch thine episode of Hilda." In reference to the horror film of the same name, The Witch, or The Witch with two V's, from a couple years back. It's a good, well-crafted movie, but a little slow for my taste. I think, gun to my head, if I had to pick another of, I believe Eggers was the director. If I had to pick another one of his films that I'd rather watch, it would be The Lighthouse. Still a slow-paced kind of movie, but a little bit more going on than in The Witch. Frankly, it's been a very long time since I've seen it. I don't remember too much about it, just aside from the slowness and aside from the goat, not the greatest of all time, but the actual goat, Black Phillip, which has ruined black goats for me in anything else that I watch. Anytime I see a black goat, I'm like, oh, hey, it's Black Phillip. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while. But yeah, good movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out at least. It's certainly worth a watch. As far as the title, The Witch, who is the witch? If it's not Hilda, my best guess is it's either a character we've not met yet that's going to be brand new here, or the librarian, side character that we have not seen yet this season, I don't think. Though I do think I do remember seeing her in the season 2 intro, so could be. She certainly is one of the more mystically attuned characters in the show. It's always fun whenever the show dips into the mystical, the occult, the magical, rather, right? I don't know if fun is necessarily the right word, because a couple times it has been literally raising the dead, but it's, it makes for good stories and good episodes here, and I'm sure this will be no exception, and I'm very excited to watch. So let's scooch over here as I take this opportunity to thank you for watching this video. Do me a favor, leave a like on this one, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of this episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel when you see, so you can see more of these when they come out, and other stuff I do as well. For this reaction, I'm drinking a vanilla Komaro tea from my armadillo mug. So hey, if nothing else, just leave me a comment, let me know what you're drinking while you're watching this. I am recording this in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl, which has just rolled through here, so I'm in the midst of an internet outage here, but thankfully I did some due diligence a couple weeks ago and had this video file prepared, so I don't actually need to connect to Netflix here, so yay me. Yeah, other than that, links in the description to both Patreon if you want to get these early and uncut. I'm ever endeavoring to get farther and farther ahead. We are about a week ahead here, but, like I said, endeavoring to get further and further ahead, as well as a link to join my Discord server if you want to talk about this or any other show I watch here on the channel, or just whatever you fancy. Go hop in there. It's fun. But now, without further ado, let us get started with Hilda Season 2, Episode 3, The Witch. Starting up in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's look for the librarian in here. I do see somebody else mysterious looking in the intro, wearing like a hat that's kind of like turned down over the face a little bit, as well as I did see somebody like full on like Hadoukening. Ooh, the witch. I see Hilda and Frida, as well as a rather large imposing figure. Oh, we are at the library already though, so let's go.
We've never had to wait this long for the librarian.
I know. She's usually right here.
She's off conducting a seance somewhere.
Something weird is definitely
Something's
going on
horribly wrong.
Come on.
Oh, back to the forbidden area. Who told you could come back here?
She must have dropped this.
Was that just a library card? Like one of the ones that tucks into the book that shows who rented what? Was that a rewind button in the rug? Maybe I'll have to oh, there's a play button on that other rug down there. What else are we gonna see? I'm looking for a rug with just a circle in it for record. Oh, there is a circle rug. Does that count? Yo, shed some light. How many secret rooms are there? 4th secret room. 5th? Oh no, that's just a door. That's not even a secret room anymore. That looks like a place where, what's the word I'm looking for? Ceremonies were held. Why did it take me so long to think of the word ceremony? Also, what in the... There's a whole ass, like, magic school back here? Is this like an interdimensional thing, or is this actually connected to Trollberg?
Legends and rumors always place it out in Holdgerwood somewhere, but nobody's ever been able to find it because it was underneath the library all along.
The librarian must be a witch.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Sounds like her? Yeah, there she is. Well, that's not sketchy at all.
Definitely a witch.
Oh, they're just gonna follow in. You know, my headcanon still stands that Hilda just has a huge crush on this librarian.
I don't actually have the book yet.
You're running out of time, dear.
It's been 29 years, 364 days,
And 22 hours.
Oh, it's one heck of a late find when it comes back.
In the case of a book overdue by 30 years, responsibility passes from the borrower to the keeper.
Oh, look, it was just a copy of The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Get over it, lady.
Lloyd.
What's that instrument? That was down-tuned. Bet he could play some gent with that.
and if the book's not returned in the next 2 hours, then...
2 hours? I thought...
Time doesn't lie, dearie. I take it you actually know who has the book.
Well, I did have the card somewhere.
Oh, it's what Frida picked up, right?
Pilkfist. It says M. Pilkfist.
Also, hi, can we be witches too?
Actually, I am technically a witch. I summoned 2 enchanted tide mice, so...
And nearly stole 2 souls.
And I've done
back.
necromancy twice.
One botched spell does not a witch make. You couldn't figure out how to fix your mistake.
Well, no, Frida figured that out, but...
Alright, so you're each half of a witch.
Nobody is going in the void. I am going to get that book back, and these 2 are going to help me, right?
Of course. No one wants to go to the void. We want to avoid that at all costs.
2 hours.
Well, at this point, it's like 1 hour and 57 minutes, right?
I've known full well who's got that book for a long time.
Interesting.
Why didn't you collect it?
Is it like a relative of hers or something?
They're all pictures of witches with their familiars.
Ooh.
You and Twig would fit in pretty well up there, don't you
Oh,
think?
they would, wouldn't they? Where's Luce and String Bean? How many Owl House references can I make in this one?
Arch-sorceress Pilkvist isn't really one for visitors. If you want to speak with her, you have to get through this labyrinth kind of a thing.
Ooh, interesting.
Cool.
It does look kind of like
A
the portal
witch's
from the
maze.
Owl House.
Have you ever been through this labyrinth?
Nope.
Do you know anyone who's been through it before?
It takes you about 30 years to get through.
Look at this place.
Isn't it neat? I know, I know. Hey, there's a sword in there.
Huh.
Oh, Hilda noticed too.
We have to open this, obviously.
With the sword, right? Stick the sword through the blue lotus.
Look out!
Step
Hell
aside,
yeah,
please.
Hilda.
I've got this.
Yo, she's multi-classing. She's like a red mage. You know, fighting and magic, right?
Hilda!
Oh, strike off one head.
I think the plant must have the key to the door.
And once again, it's something Hilda couldn't do on her own that Frida's helping her with, right?
Hey, what are you doing?
I need that to cut off
Frida!
more heads fruitlessly. You know, Frida with that sword above her head was a pretty cool shot, though, not gonna lie.
I noticed a pattern of interlocking keys engraved on the handle. Look.
Also now, free sword.
Maybe we'll leave this behind.
No, come on. You never know when you might need a sword. Oh, I thought that Sphinx was singing the song for a second. Write me a poem. Oh, are we gonna find out that Frida's gonna make the better witch? An appletini, my favorite.
Couldn't you use magic once in a while to help out?
Hilda?
What?
Being a witch is a lot more about knowledge and knowing the true shape of things than it is about spells.
Just like Frida, right?
powers.
The difference between Frida and Hilda. Hilda just wants to do the things, Frida wants to figure them out.
We are definitely about to be attacked by some kind of living snowman or ice monster.
Nope. Lava.
Close enough. Any ideas, Frida?
You girls go ahead and get the book while I hold him off.
Ooh.
On our own.
Was this the end of the labyrinth, though?
This isn't expected.
Oh.
Look, Cornelius.
Aw.
We have visitors.
Are you
Interesting.
Arch Sorceress Matilda Pilkvist?
Oh, please, call me Tildy.
Aw, she's a
Would
cute
you
old
like
lady.
some tea?
Yes, actually.
Have we met before?
I rang your doorbell once.
Oh, wait.
I remember your adorable pet.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's my familiar.
So she just lives in Trollberg. We did all this just to we did all this when we could have just knocked on her door if we knew it was her. Cause yeah, we saw her in the season 1 finale, right? When they were going around gathering stuff for the what is it? Not the rummage sale, but like kind of the rummage sale. I forgot what exactly they called it for the Sparrow Scouts. That was her, and I thought it was weird. Like, why'd we pay such attention to this old lady that like we've never seen before and isn't like, you know, relevant to the episode at hand? Turns out they were just saving her for the next season, and I think that's really, really cool.
Is there any chance you could look for a certain library book that you borrowed exactly 29 years, 364 days, 23 hours, and 41 minutes ago?
Oh, did those 3 fuss budgets send you here to make me return a book?
Yes.
I haven't seen that book in years.
Oh, no.
But you tell them I'll find it and return it when I'm good and ready.
They're going to banish the librarian to the void of no return.
And
Sounds.
us?
She just says, "Sounds like a skill issue, dearie."
She stayed behind to fight your flame monster.
Flame monster? You mean Eldred? Not one of my monsters. He's a landscaper. He's doing some work on my ice garden.
Aw.
Kaiser? Kaiser was my student. A very promising one at that. Why wouldn't you come in and say hello, dear?
So is she actually not just a really good witch?
Is there a finding spell we can use?
The magic will be much more effective if it comes from you.
We did see her. She had to take several tries to open that one portal earlier in the episode, right? Oh, he's so cute when he's not
I
menacing.
can't. I didn't want you to know that I'm not the witch you taught me to be. That I'm just
A librarian.
It seems to be a very witchly pursuit, at least.
You're the keeper of the books, and that's a wonderful surprise.
What a sweet old lady she turned out to be.
Tildy, is there any chance your familiar might have the book?
He's a very avid reader.
What's that in your mouth?
Oh no. Is he just like full of... Oh, he is. A little Vitra doll?
It's here! The Skeleton Whisperer!
Oh, it's a romance novel.
Got a minute to spare.
Then let's return that.
A very steamy one, too.
Oh, gracious!
You did it!
It looks like you've missed the deadline by 1 minute and 52 seconds.
To be fair, you were talking our ears off earlier.
Time can get a bit messy when you translocate like that.
Oh, it was...
Open the void.
No! Nobody's going to the void of no return over a library book.
This doesn't change anything.
Abigail, come now. There's no reason to be stubborn about this.
Oh, what's coming out?
This isn't about
Oh.
stubbornness or being a stickler for the rules. There are dark forces beneath us that must be kept at bay. You all know this.
Excuse me?
Excuse me is right.
To be fed.
What the hell?
And it's very grouchy when it's hungry.
Yo, aren't we all, though? Yo, and they just dip. Oh, God.
Use some magic to stop us falling!
Okay, that's good. But we're still falling.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
There's a
that's...
spell I can cast, but
not
I
quite
don't
enough.
remember the incantation. I need a book.
Divination. Passion.
Blood and sacrifice, celestial medicine, form casting.
That one.
Okay, just tell me which book to get.
Aw. Yeah, she is the brave one, right? Better at doing rather than thinking it through, right? Hilda can't make it back from the bookcase in time.
I can only hold it while I'm doing the incantation.
We need another plan.
I think I've got one.
Is Frida gonna cast? Hell yeah.
The Oblondir. Scast, a
Ooh, is the librarian able to make it back?
I'll be right back.
Do we have a lasso or anything? The sword?
Go crazy!
Oh, hey. Something that we can grow and hold on to and climb our way back out, right? I love that this came back. We just overgrow the whole void.
I think I've got this one. Everybody stay still.
Okay. Stupid. Oh, I wanted to hear the death metal note again.
Witchcraft.
And that thing down there shouldn't go hungry for some time. Assuming it likes vegetables.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hope it's in the mood for some salad.
I waive the charges.
Also, I waive my own late fees, too.
Surely you see that one of them is a natural witch. So, what do you say, Frida?
What?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I don't do magic.
You just did.
You have what it takes to learn. And you've got the spirit to be an invaluable familiar to Frida.
Oh, interesting.
I can do that.
But who's going to teach the girl?
I will.
Aw. After all, she lives in Trollberg, right?
Tea and board games back at my place. Eldred is burning for a
Yeah,
rematch.
Dragon Panic, let's go. Nice. That was fun. That was a good one. Sorry, I had to jam out to the little credits song for a second. Let's see, where do I want to start? Hilda's gonna be Frida's familiar? That's not what I expected. I know they said, oh, Hilda, you and Twig would make good pairs. I didn't really realize that a person could be a familiar. Usually when you think of a familiar, you think of, you know, an animal, a pet, something like that. I've never really considered a person being another person's familiar. That's kind of, I don't know. But hey, as we saw, Hilda, you know, she's very brave, steps in, she's got the spirit of a warrior, right? She doesn't care, she just goes for it. She full sends in pretty much everything she does. Whereas, like we said, the contrast, Frida took the time to learn how to do things, to get past, to solve the puzzles, actually. But it did take the two of them working together to finally get through everything at the end, right? So I think that's neat, that even though Hilda wasn't necessarily cut out for it, that she was still able to be very valuable in what they were doing, that she wasn't just kind of cast aside. I could totally see another version of this episode where just like Hilda gets upset and disheartened throughout all of it, and is just kind of like, oh, maybe I'm not cut out for this, and gets jealous of Frida, maybe, who knows, and then, you know, another rift forms between them. We don't want to retread that ground from season 1. So, you know, the fact that, you know, Hilda was so happy for Frida, the revelation didn't really happen till the end. Like, Hilda didn't even really put 2 and 2 together, that she kind of sucks at the whole thing, right? The gathering of knowledge, all that kind of stuff. Her strengths lie elsewhere. Yeah, that was just a really fun episode. Like I said, I like when the show dabbles into magic stuff. I'll be curious to see if the whole Frida doing magic stuff kind of builds as the series goes on, and if she actually does become a witch as things progress. Because I always think that's neat when, you know, shows, you know, build up their characters. Like shows like this, which are mostly episodic with a bit of a through line of a plot to kind of get us to tell a story. They typically don't change their characters up too much, right? Think of, well, I was gonna throw out some examples. Like look at a character like Dipper from Gravity Falls, right? That's a good example. Yes, we had the whole plot of the show, but you know, at the end of all things, Dipper and Mabel were still pretty much the same characters. Yes, they had learned things. Yes, they had gone through a whole bunch of stuff, but they, in effect, were the same characters, right? Dipper still had his fascination with learning and knowledge and the wonders of everything out there. And he was still the same nerd that he was at the beginning of the show, whereas Mabel was still the rambunctious, like, la, 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 crazy kind of, fun-loving person that she was at the beginning as well. Those core character traits did not change. I was going to say something like Luz and Anne from their respective shows, but they, did have a lot more changing to do. Those shows eventually became a lot more plot focused than Hilda seems to be at this point. But at the same time, it would be really interesting to kind of go to season 3 or something and just like kind of not even recognize what's going on or the characters themselves to a certain extent. I think I said in an earlier episode, I saw on Netflix, like one of the little banners when you pull up the show shows Hilda sword fighting with somebody. And I'm just like, what the hell is this? This is nothing like what we've gotten in the show so far. I can't even fathom how we would get to that point of Hilda like straight up like sword fighting like brutally against somebody, right? So I guess some stuff is going to happen, right? But it just remains to see how we get there and how quickly or how slowly, how much emphasis is put on these things as it goes on. But yeah, like I said, this was a really fun episode. Always love dabbling in the magic. The librarian is one of my favorite side characters. She just has a really good design. I like that it wasn't just like, every time we've seen her, she's known exactly what they wanted. Like she said, she feels like she's a bad witch because she's just a lowly librarian, right? But she's still super good at what she does. She still, through some magical means, knows exactly what book Hilda wants, knows exactly what they're going to ask, always has the correct thing for them, right? They even made mention of that at one point. But like, you've seen her strengths, and every time we've seen her, there's never been any doubt that she's anything less than totally capable of what the situation requires. But when we get her their mentor, we see a little bit of self-doubt in there. Misplaced though it might be, even though the first time we saw her in this episode, like I said, she had to kind of repeat the incantation a couple times before it finally took. Who knows how much of that was just self-doubt because of where she was going and what she was about to actually have to do. But hey, if this means we get more of the librarian, I'm all for it. Like I said, she's a really fun design. I always enjoy when she's around. She's got a fun personality, in an entertaining way. She's probably not that fun at parties, but as far as a character on a TV show, quite entertaining, and I enjoy her quite a bit. So I think that's about all I gotta say for this one. So once again, I'd like to ask, what did you think of this episode? Are you as high on these characters in this kind of potential plot line as I am? Don't give me any spoilers on like how much this actually matters or anything like that. Give me some fake spoilers. Give me some fake Frida spoilers, and preferably some fake Frida spoilers set at Hexside or in the universe of the Owl House, please and thank you. I'm very proud of myself. I didn't mention Harry Potter once. Trans rights. Fuck J.K. Rowling. But hey, other than that, I don't have too much else to say. So I'll catch you next time with some more Hilda. Take it easy, everybody.